Hey musical explorers, welcome back to another lesson. Today we're going to continue to do the level 2 theory book. Alright, so in today's lesson we're going to be doing lesson 9 on motive, repetition, and sequence. So, let's just read what we have on the page. So a motive or motif, I'm not sure if that's how you say it, but yeah, is a short pattern that may be used as the main idea of a composition. This bourrée by J.S. Bach uses the following motive. This is a motive. It's like a short pattern or main idea. I think I should highlight stuff because that's going to be helpful. It's a short pattern that may be used as the main idea of a composition. Okay, so we can see this is an example of a motive, and it is repeated and varied several times at the beginning of the music. So we can see that there's kind of like a similar pattern. Notice how it's like eighth note, quarter note, eighth note, quarter note, eighth note, quarter note, eighth notes, or eighth notes, not eighth note. So there's two eighth note, quarter note, two eighth note, quarter note, two eighth note, quarter note, and it just keeps going. Although there's like some changes here, but it's okay. They generally like follow the same pattern. So that is what a motive is. Okay, now we're going to learn about repetition. So it's pretty simple to understand. Repetition is kind of in the name of itself already. Like repetition kind of reminds you of repeat. So repetition takes place when the motive is repeated immediately on the same note. So let me just highlight that. Okay, on the same note. Just like that. So we see this is a motive, but then it repeats itself the same, like exactly the same for 3 times, or not, yeah, 3 times in total. So 1, 2, 3. So they are the exact same, okay? If they have different notes or anything, that's not going to be repetition anymore. But yeah, it's pretty simple. Just repeat the same thing. Okay. Now we have sequence. Sequence occurs when the motive is repeated immediately in the same voice, but on a different note, usually a second or third higher or lower. So here is Minuet in G minor by Bach includes sequence. So this is a motive, and then we see it's like really similar. See how it's quarter note and then 4 eighth notes. Quarter note, 4 eighth notes. But if you look closely, you see these notes are different, right? This one starts on an E. It's E, F, E, D, C. But this one is D, E, D, C, B. So we see that they're different, but they follow the same general pattern. So, also, quick thing. Let me just highlight some stuff. Immediately in the same voice, but on a different note. Okay, so basically it's repeated immediately, but it can't be on different voices. So notice how they are, the motive and the sequence are both on the treble clef, but it cannot be like if you see like this, but this right here is over here, that is not going to be sequence anymore because this one's in bass clef and this one's in treble clef. So they have to be on the same voice. Okay? Awesome. It's pretty simple to understand. So let's hop into some exercises. So let's read this. 1. Circle the repetition or sequence in each of these examples. Write the names of the technique, repetition, or sequence on the line above the music. The first one is given. So this is from Allegro by Mozart. So we see repetition here because, well, honestly, I think they should have circled both of them because, yeah, it's easier to see. So if we circle that too. Notice how these two are the exact same. If they are the exact same, that means they repeated, right? They repeated twice. So that means it's repetition. Pretty simple, and you just got to circle it as well and just write repetition. Awesome. Okay, And honestly, they should have circled the like bass clef parts as well because they're also the same. Notice how the notes are the exact same, the rhythm's exact same, they're just the exact same. But it's alright, I guess. Okay, let's take a look at this one. So I already see a pattern here. So if we look over here, let me just circle them really quick. Okay, what do you notice? So let's see. Is it repetition? Are they the same exact notes? No, this one starts on a C and this one starts on a B, so they're not repetition. Well, that gives us only one option left, which is sequence. And we see it as sequence because it's in the same voice and it follows the same general pattern. So it has a quarter note and then 4 eighth notes. So that just basically tells us that it is a sequence. And this first part will be a motive, and this is the sequence. Awesome. Now let's move on to C. This is from Musette, I think. I don't know how to say that, but from Musette by J.S. Bach. And let's take a look. So, I already see it. Do you guys see it? Okay, so let me just circle them for you. Okay, I should have included that note because I don't want to... Okay. Remember to circle the whole thing or else they're going to think that you, like, excluded a note or something. But, like, you know, you got to circle the entire thing. So... Okay. Do you guys see it? Yeah, it's repetition. Why is it repetition? Notice how in both bass clef and treble clef, they repeat the same exact notes and the same exact rhythm. So they're exactly the same. And when they're exactly the same, that means this motive got repeated. And when it's repeated, it's repetition. Correct. So we're just going to put repetition. I think it's pretty simple. But later on, you guys are going to learn more about, like, these kind of, what are these called? But yeah, you're going to learn similar things, or not similar things. You're going to learn more, like, stuff about these similar, like, content, I guess. Okay, as you can see, this lesson is also pretty short, but that's going to be okay because... I don't know, we're just planning on doing like one lesson each video. So some lessons might be very short and some lessons might be very long, but it really just depends, okay? All right. Next we have from Minuet by W.A. Bach, W.A. Mozart. So now let's see if we can see some general patterns. Yeah, I see it. So let's circle it. Oh my gosh, okay. This is a big circle. Okay. What do you guys see? Okay, let's see. Is it repetition? Do you guys see the same exact notes? No. For example, we can just take any note, like for example, this one and this one. They're like corresponding, right? This one's a C and this one's a D. So obviously they're not the same notes. So that can be repetition. That just leaves us with sequence. And notice how it's like the same general pattern. So it's rest, quarter, quarter, rest, quarter, quarter. And this is just half note, and then 4 eighth notes, and then another half note. So that tells us it has a general pattern, which means it's a sequence. It's pretty simple, right? Okay. Now let's do the last problem from Minuet by I keep saying Bach for some reason, but this is from Minuet by L. Mozart. And let's see if we can find a pattern here. Yes, I already see it. Let's see. Okay, I see it. So, let me just circle them for you and let me know what you guys think it is. Okay, what do you guys see? Yes, I see repetition because as you can see, the same notes and rhythms appear on the right hand. But notice how I didn't circle the bass clef, because if we see, this is a motive, right? This part is a motive, and this is like the repetition part. But we see that the treble clef notes are all the same and rhythm are the same. But in the left hand, we see quarter, and this one's a quarter, but this one's a half note. So that doesn't work out, okay? That means we cannot circle the left hand. We can only circle the right hand part. And here we can see same exact notes and same exact rhythm. That means it is repetition because it's repeated twice, right? Or I don't know if I should say repeated once or repeated twice, but you see like that it's being repeated. Oh my gosh, okay, yeah, so it's okay. I don't even know how to spell repetition. That's really interesting. Okay, so it's repetition. Okay, there. Perfect. So that's pretty much it for this lesson. As you can tell, it's pretty short. It's only like, I don't know, like maybe 12 minutes-ish. So yeah, but definitely go back if you don't already know how like repetition and sequence works. Definitely review. But I feel like in general this lesson's a pretty simple one. So yeah. Alright, musical explorers, that is it for today's lesson. And again, it's a very short lesson, but you know, some lessons are very short, some lessons are very long. It really depends. But definitely feel free to go back and review what repetition and sequence are and see if you can identify any repetition or sequence in the music that you are currently playing. And yeah, that's it for today's lesson, and I hope to see you guys in our next lesson. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!